Today we're just going to have a look at a bit more of the look at the simple interest formula, and today we're just going to use it to rearrange. So the simple interest formula, I equals PRT over 100. If you want to find out what the interest is, that's good. You can just put it into the formula. Sometimes we know what interest we want. We just have to work out how much money we have to invest to get that interest, or we know what interest we want and we have to work out what interest rate we need to get, or sometimes we want to work out how long we have to put some money away to get that interest. So sometimes we want to find out P, sometimes R, sometimes T. So we'll start looking at the interest rate. To find the interest rate, we've got this formula here. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the 100 up the top with the I and divide by the P and the T. So they go down the bottom. Okay, so that's all we've done. So this is our formula. 100 multiplies up with the I, and the R stays where it is, and the P and T come down the bottom. And we've got that formula. To find time, it's the same, exactly the same thing. So the 100 multiplies with the I, and the P and the R come down the bottom, the time stays on its own. Exactly the same thing, 100I up the top, and the other variables down the bottom. So to find P, exactly the same, 100I up the top, 100 multiplies with the I, and the RT go down the bottom. So I want you to notice how all those formulas are the same sort of formula. So you can write the three formulas in your book. It's probably a good idea to have them in your bound reference. But it's also good to just know how we get them. Okay, so that's rearranging. It gets you those three different formulas. So now we've got four different formulas that we can use. So let's look at some examples. We want to find the rate of interest. So R equals 100I over PT. Okay, so that's our formula. R equals 100I over PT. So in part A, we've got P equals 8,000, and the interest here, is going to be $3,140. 11,040 minus 8,000. So the interest is 3,140. So we're just going. We want that much at the end, so we want that much. Got that much at the start, so we have to subtract them to get 3,140, and the time is 4 years. So we go. The interest rate is 100 times 3,140 over, and I'm going to use brackets. So we're going to use brackets, particularly down the bottom. Okay, so just so we know nothing's going to go wrong. So over 8,000 times 4. Okay, the brackets are just going to hold the bits together. Okay, so we've got bracket 100 times 3,140, close bracket, divided by bracket 8,000 times 4, and I get 9.8 per annum. Okay, so for part B, that's part A, put one over there. For part B we've got the principal is 5,000. The interest we want is $500, and the time is 9 over 12, or 3/4 of a year, or 0.75. So the interest rate is going to be 100 times 500 divided by 5,000. Oops, too many zeros. times 0.75. Okay. Try doing it with the other brackets and see if you get the same answer. I don't think you will. 100 times 500 divided by bracket 5,000 times 0.75. I get 13.3%. And when we say the percent, we need to say percent plan. Okay, so the next example, we want to calculate the time period. So the time equals 100 I over PR. Once again, we're going to put brackets in there. So for part A, the principal is going to be $5,000. The interest rate is 12%, and part A we want to get $1,800 interest. So we're going to go time equals 100 times 1,800 over 5,000 times 12. So my calculator, bracket 100 times 1,800, bracket divided by bracket 5,000 times 12, then we get 3. Time equals 3, and time is in years. Okay. I think we're just going to, this thing about the answers to the nearest day, I think that just goes to part B, so we won't worry about it for this one. So that's part A. So part B, once again, the principal is $5,000. The interest rate is still 12%. And this time the interest is $404 interest. So time equals 100 times 404 over 5,000 times 12. Times 404 divided by 100 times 404 divided by 5,000 times 12, and we get 0.673 years. Okay, and then to get it into days, we're going to times by 365. So there's 365 days in a year. Okay, so we're going to multiply that by 365. Now we have this 245.76 days. Oh, we're going to round that to 246 days. So we've got to round up, otherwise we're going to be under what we want, under the interest. Okay, this one we want to find the principal. So same idea. P equals 100I over RT. This one, we don't know the principal. We want to get $1,500 interest. Interest rate is 5%. The time is 3 years. So we're going to say P equals 100 times 1,500 divided by 5 times 3. And we could just about do this one without a calculator, but we want 100 times 1,500 divided by 15. So we have to put away $10,000. Okay. So all of these pretty much the same thing over again. There's one variation we'll have a look at. And that is if we want to, if we're given the value of A, the total amount at the end. Okay, so you can see back here, we're actually given the value of A, the total amount at the end. Okay, so now we can do it without actually going and working out the interest doing the calculation. So we can use this formula here. Okay, and as long as you've just got those brackets, it will work quite fine. So find the amount. So the interest rate is 5%. We want the total value to be 15,600, so that's the A, and we want the time to be 4 years. So the principal equals 15,600, the A, divided by bracket 1 plus 5 times 4 over 100. Okay, so we've got to go 15,600 divided by bracket 1 plus 5 times 4 divided by 100, close bracket, and we get $13,000. So we have to start off with $13,000, and if we can want to build it up to 15,600 in 4 years at 15%. Okay. Exercise 4C, a bit more practice with the simple interest formula. Okay, make sure you've got those formulas copied into your bound reference so you can just look at them without having to memorise them. I'm available to give you help if you need it, so just ask. Okay, see you next time.